Hey guys, welcome to Advocates for Justice for Foreclosure Defense Paralegal Service. We are different and we prove it. Welcome tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things that's important. We're going to review the power you have available when the judge violates your constitutional rights. But before we get into all of that, I want to take a minute to discuss a few things. We're going to talk about the judge's immunity, and we're going to talk about requirements for recusing the judge, how to recuse the judge, and we're going to talk about filing a claim against the judge. This video is about what we're going to do about the situation. The judge's immunity. Judges have what is called qualified immunity, and that means they have to qualify for it. And the way you qualify for immunity is by following the law. As soon as the judge is not following the law, the judge does not qualify for immunity. Now, most people don't realize that you're not in a judicial court, you're in an administrative court. And that is why the judges can do whatever they want and you have no rights in there unless you go after the judge and drag them into an administrative court or into federal court or into some other court. Requirements for recusing a judge. And people are going to be shocked about this. The requirements for recusing a judge, all you have to do is show the appearance of impartiality to accuse a judge. Once you show the appearance of impartiality, that's all you need. You don't need to prove that the judge threw you under the bus or gave the attorneys an unfair advantage. All you have to do is show the appearance of impartiality. And we're going to cover how to recuse the judge. Well, how do you recuse the judge? You just stick the paperwork in. It's been going on now with our Bind Non-Conventional program. We are learning how to cut to the chase. That's what we're learning. We learn how to cut to the chase because I'm not charging you guys enough to have you hanging around while I keep trying to get more money from you like an attorney does, okay? We need to cut to the chase, and that's what we're learning how to do. Now, the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit has been a huge problem for these attorneys, and the attorneys have been relying on the judges to help them by illegally responding to the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit on behalf of the attorneys, which is totally illegal and leaves the judge out there hanging in the air to be sued for taking jurisdiction without judicial authority, without jurisdiction. You can say it either way you want. But at the end of the day, the judge's butt is still on the line here. Now, this video is about what we're going to do about it. And that's what we're talking about. The main thing that we're going to be using is the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946. And if you try to do research, you need to add 1946 on the end of your query, or you will pull up Cornell Law Library watered down BS that don't even make any sense. Now, this Administrative Procedures Act was actually enacted into law. I looked it up myself because if it does not have an enacting clause, it's not a valid law. So I looked it up, and it was enacted in 1946 because Congress had concerns the corporations would force rules and policies that were not aligned with the Constitution. The key to this act is the government administrative policies must be in harmony with the Constitution. The problem is we're facing corporate judges illegally acting as judicial judges, and this is what I touched on in the beginning of this video. So to hold the judge liable, we must get them into administrative court before administrative judge. And I think when we do this, you'll find that things are gonna change. You must remember that there are at least two different sets of rules in court, or not really in court, for legal situations. One set of rules calls for old case law. This case law is from the statutes at large. The statutes at large are the laws woven into the Constitution, and we are not using them now. Okay, so what we're using now is not the laws from the statute at large, and that's why we have no constitutional rights in court, unless you hold their fire to the feet to the fire to the feet. You know what I'm saying? We're using the new law, corporate law. To be more clear, it is the new revised codes and statutes that went into effect in 1933. This is when we switched over from public law to public policy. Public policy. You know, it's kind of funny because everybody like, oh, this doesn't have case law from my state. Oh, well, we're filing in federal court, so you don't need case law from your state. And anyway, that's not a requirement. It's not about the case law. People run around with the case law and all this stuff. It's not about the law. It's about public policy. And public policy can be addressed in the Administrative Procedures Act at 5 USC section 515. And this is powerful. So the Administrative Procedures Act mandates that non-legislative rules such as guidance, guidelines, agency staff manuals, staff instructions, opinion letters, and press releases are called statements of policy or guidance. Statements of policy are almost always issued in documents classified as guidance, and guidance documents to the public often include statements of policy. Guidance and statements of policy are not legally binding on the public because they have not gone through the procedures to become legislative regulations binding on the public. This is important. As a matter of fact, I'm going to copy and paste this in the comment section below the video so that you'll all have it and you can see it and you can use it. This alone is something that you can use to move to dismiss your foreclosure ASAP, because the court does not have jurisdiction. When it's stated, mandatory language can be binding to the agency itself. So it's binding to the agency, but it's not binding to the public because we're not officers of that corporation. We are citizens of the Republic state where we were born, and nobody can be a citizen of the federal government. Nobody can be a citizen of the US government because no one can be born in a fictitious corporation. There, done. I said it. If the judge is giving you a hard time and you need to address this, and this is what's going to happen if you're using my jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit, the judge is going to have to step in and help them. And when the judge does, you're going to have to step up and do something about it. And I just finished a new package that we're going to put together. I'm probably going to put it on the website at $200. This package is specific for the judge violating your constitutional rights by ruling without jurisdiction. And I think a lot of people are going to be using this, and that's why I put it low, at a low price. I'm also going to add a motion to moot the judge's order, fraud involved in the case. And we're also going to have a motion in a dismiss because of the fraud, and the case is tainted now that the judge has done this stuff to help the attorneys get by, created an unfair advantage to help attorneys get by. So I'm in the process of doing that now, and I will let you guys know when this is when it's done. So people need to use it. You guys can invest in it if you need to use it. That's what I'm working on now. I'm also working on a package that to stop the short-term rental abuse that people that own short-term rentals are receiving from the cities. And we're going to start out with the city of Lawrence, Kansas, send out their paperwork to make the short-term rentals close down if you're not owner-occupied, which is a total violation of everybody's constitutional rights. So we're going to address that here in the next week or so. But this document that I'm talking about now, this package, I have the main two documents put already structured, and we're going to add a couple of more to it to sum it up. The goal is to block them from moving forward. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to block them from moving forward because a lot of times the judge is just going to violate you and they're going to go with the odds. The odds have always been in their favor because they know no attorney is going to help them. No attorneys are going to help you kick their butt. So they know that. So the odds are in their favor. But we're going to change the odds now because we got something else going on. And if the judge is going to help the attorneys, then we're going to attack the judge and hold the judge liable. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter who it is you have on the hook, as long as there's somebody on the hook to pay you for what they put you through. And so that's what we're working on now. So that's all I got today. This is just a short little video to let you guys know. You guys that are using lawsuit packages, you should not just sit back and think you have everything you need in your package, okay? You should be coming to the channel to check out what new videos are being posted and see if those videos pertain to your situation. You should be checking in on the Facebook pages to see what's being posted, if there's something posted that you need to know, because when things occur or things happen and we need to add things or change them, they get posted in the group. I don't have time to send everybody an individual message or a group message or anything like that. You guys need to be checking the group to stay on top of what's going on. And one other thing, while I'm complaining. So I want to make sure that you guys know that I don't have a problem receiving phone calls. What I have a problem with is managing my time so that I'm doing the best job that I can do, getting things done that I've committed to do for that day. Okay, that's the thing. The problem is when people call me with something they could just text me for, or the bigger problem is when people call me out of fear. I had a lady call me today, and I just happened to be in a position to take her call. And so I answered the phone, and the first thing she says to me is, "Hey, Coach, I know you don't like taking phone calls, but," and I hate it when people tell me that at the beginning of a conversation, because it makes me want to hang up the phone. I'm serious, it does. It makes me want to hang up the phone, because if you're calling me for something important, that should be what you're talking about when you start communicating, okay, about why you called. And this person finally got to talk about why she called, and the reason she called was because she got a virus on her computer, and she was concerned that the virus was from the government because they want to stop me from helping people. And I was like, look, I think if the government, I'm trying not to be grumpy and blow the whistle and make it run, okay? I think if the government wanted to shut me down, they wouldn't be going after everybody in all these different states. They would just come after me and try to shut me down. I think that's what they do. Oh, wait, they did already twice, and I'm still here. So I don't know what her problem is, but I don't do well with fear, okay? If you have fear, don't call me. I don't want to talk to you when you're scared. Okay, because you're not going to listen to anything I have to say. I do not want to talk to you if you have fear and you're scared to death or whatever. Okay, don't call me. It's going to go a lot smoother if you don't call me. And this is a good time to text me or message me. Actually, messaging me in the group is the best, because my hands are really big and it's really hard for me to send texts. I'm sure you got text messages from me, and you're wondering, what the hell am I saying? Yeah, see, there's my hand, pretty big. So I have a hard time text messaging. And right now, it takes me a long time to send a text message, and I don't have time. I can type on the computer a lot better than I did before I started doing this business, that's for sure. But it's just easier for me to do that. And it works out best if the question is asked in the group, because then everybody else can see the answer, the question and the answer. And I can cut down on the questions. In my perfect world, all the questions would be answered in the group at some point, and no one would be calling me with, okay, I don't know where the perfect world's at, but I want to find out someday. So that's what I'm shooting for. So I don't have a problem with the phone calls. My problem is if the phone call is unnecessary, then my time is not being utilized in the best fashion. And when I say time, when people call me, no offense to anybody, but when people call me, they're usually worried about their own situation, and they don't realize that other people are in situations too. Like, for instance, before COVID started, I was taking text messages from people that were actually standing outside of the state court office, the state court um, office, trying to figure out what they needed to say to them because their clerk was trying to deny them filing their stuff. So they were texting me outside the office and try to figure out what it is they need to say. I've even had people go to their car in federal court and call me because they're in court trying to file their stuff. They just drove 60 miles to file their stuff, and the federal court clerk is giving them a hard time. So they go out to their car and they call me and they try and figure out what they need to do so that we can make sure that they're getting their document filed while they are there before they drive 60 miles back home. So they don't have to drive another 60 miles. Okay, you get the picture. You get the picture. So it's not always there's people ahead of you guys in line. There's always somebody in line ahead of you. And so my time is very important. If I do not utilize my time in the best manner, then I don't get to bed till 2 or 3 or later in the morning. Okay, because I have made a commitment to do the things that I made a commitment to do, and I'm not going to bed until they're done. Now, with that being said, sometimes you might have to leave me a text message or hit me up in the group. That's the best place to catch me, is in the group. And if it's private, you can just send me a private message on Facebook, and I don't mind talking about it in private if it's private, or if you don't feel comfortable talking about it in front of everybody, I'm all right with that. But it's a little bit complicated for me to try to send everybody a text message when they're texting me and answer their calls at the exact time they call me. A lot of times I'm talking to new people, and sometimes I'll get 8 or 10 calls a day. Sometimes I'll get 4 or 5 calls that are spam. And yeah, so welcome to my world. But I'm all right with that. We just need to figure out the rules to make it through. And since I'm the coach, I think I can make the rules the way that I need to have them so that I can help everybody do the best job I can do, helping everybody, as opposed to just one person. So when you call me and I don't answer the phone, the best thing to do is leave me a text message about why you called. Hey, I'm calling about this, and I have a question about this situation. I have a question about my document for whatever. Okay. Now I can look at that and I can say, okay, that's, let me call them back, or maybe I can just email you or send you a message, or leave a thing in the Facebook page about what you need to do. Not all the time do we need to talk on the phone. And most of the time when people call maxed out wanting to talk to me on the phone, is because they're freaking out. And that's not a good time to talk to me. Okay. As a coach, if I see you freaking out and you're scared, you're going to be on the bench. You're not going to be out there on the floor getting ready to do some stuff because you're not ready. So that's how I roll with that. My goal is to make sure that you guys have the best chance to get done what you need to do. You need to have the courage to step up and get it done, and put the fear aside. I never let the fear dictate my fate. And one of the girls posted in the group posted a picture one time and said, if you can't beat the fear, do it scared. And I told her I wanted to steal that and use it. And she said I could. So I did. And I posted sometime. I posted it in the group before. If you can't beat the fear, do it scared. That's going to be a hell of a lot better than packing and trying to figure out some place to move. So you need to do it scared if you can't beat the fear. So that's all I got tonight for you guys. I will see you guys in, what is today? In a few days, probably on the weekend. Saturday around 9 p.m. We're going to be on YouTube. So you can check my YouTube video. You can check out my live stream on YouTube on Saturday. And you guys, please make sure that you subscribe down below and ring that bell so that you get notified when I come on. And also leave comments. Now, I've been accepted into the YouTube partnership program, and my site's monetized now, and I made about $15, but you got to start somewhere. So that's where I'm starting. Now, I also have been invited to have a membership on my channel to charge like a subscription. So I need some ideas on what I should do for the people that subscribe to my channel. What special perks should I provide for you guys? So that's something that you guys can think about, and you could either text message me or join the live stream on Saturday on YouTube and let me know what you think, because I need some suggestions, because I want to provide something of value that you guys want and like and would enjoy. So, and I have a couple of ideas too, but I want to chew on them for a while before I throw them on the table. So thank you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.